good morning. Welcome to your mediation. First of all, allow me to introduce myself. I am Alia and I will be your mediator today. Let me tell you briefly what my qualifications are. I am a legal practitioner, have been called to the bar in 2017 and also have been in legal practice since then. I am also a mediator, certified by Malaysian Mediation Centre, and have been participating in alternative dispute resolution since 2018. So as a mediator, I am a neutral third party who is interested in solution rather than benefits of either side. So may I know what is your name and how would you like me to address you? Okay, Mr. George and Mr. Lim, allow me to familiarize you with location. Rooms available to us is mediation room 1, which is this room, and mediation room 2, which is beside this room, and the restrooms are located at the end of this hallway. And may I ask that all of you to turn off your cell phones, and if you have to keep them on, please put them on silent or vibrate. Thank you. Okay, does anyone have any time or other limitations we should be aware of? Alright, if no, then let's begin our mediation session by reviewing the process and few ground rules that we will be following today, as I am going to make my opening statement that will tell you about your rights and entitlements, what to expect, what will occur here to give you a heads up as to what to anticipate in this mediation. And if you are unfamiliar with the mediation, feel free to ask me any questions before we started. And after I am finished with my opening statement, I would like to hear an uninterrupted opening statements from each of you that will be further explained later on. So, mediation is a process in which people attempt to resolve the differences with the assistance of a neutral third party. A mediation agreement is usually more satisfying, longer lasting than other methods of resolving conflicts. I am not a judge or a decision maker. My job as a mediator is here to facilitate communications between two parties to reach the best resolution for your dispute. And I would like to commend all of you for being willing to come in and take part in mediation. This is a voluntary process. If this process is not meeting your needs, you may leave at any time. If you've been audited here, you're required to negotiate in good faith, and if you think you want to leave, I request that you confer with me beforehand. And of course, this mediation process is confidential, and I will do everything in my power to assure that the process remains confidential. Any pre-submission materials or materials you give me here today are either returned to you or destroyed at the end of the mediation. Okay, now let me briefly describe the procedures that we will be following today. When I finish my remarks, each party will make an opening statement, as I've mentioned earlier. An opening statement is simply a statement of your position. It should take around 5 to 20 minutes. Usually an opening statement includes a history of the dispute, the event, the relief or resolution that you think is appropriate, and anything that you wish to add to shed light on your position. During the session, I will be taking notes. The notes are only for the purpose of helping me to assist you to solve this dispute. And as I've mentioned earlier, I will ensure this mediation remains confidential. Hence, my notes will also be destroyed at the end of your mediation. And I also encourage you to take notes on the paper provided, so that if you are disagreeing or if you think of something that you want to add, the best thing to do is write it down so we can address the issues as soon as possible. And again, do not interrupt in the other party's opening statement. After each of you makes an opening statement, we will remain together for what is called the joint session. So in this joint session, I will ask questions from each of you to make certain that I understand your position and that I have all the information that I need. We may remain in this joint session if you're okay with it, or a caucus may be called. Okay, so basically a caucus is a private meeting where we will break into separate groups and any of us may call for a caucus. And if you wish to speak to me privately, or if I wish to speak to you privately, a caucus will be called. If you wish to go to caucus, then we will do so immediately. Okay, so during the caucuses, you will have an opportunity, if you wish, to disclose things to me that you want me to know, but you do not necessarily wish for me to disclose to the other side. So I want to assure you again that what you tell me remains confidential, don't worry. And I also want to remind you, if you want something to be disclosed, then you will need to give me the permission to disclose it. Okay, so if you reach an agreement settling some or all the issues, it will be written up. If in fact it does reflect your understanding, all parties will sign the original and I will make duplicate copies for everyone and whoever might need it, for example, the court. Also, if this matter is in court and all issues are settled, then the agreement usually resolves all the court's concerns as well. However, if you reach a partial agreement or you may not reach any agreement at all, I suggest that we explore some available alternatives such as further mediation, arbitration, or we proceed with trial or any other available options. However, I hope that we can discuss all the potential outcomes, as our goal here is of course to reach an agreement. And I again commend you for your commitment to this process and your agreement to participate in this mediation. Okay, so thank you for listening to my opening statement. Does anyone have any questions or comments? If you have no questions at this time, so we will begin with the opening statements by Mr. George, then followed by Mr. Lim.